Is this thing working? We can only hope. How is everyone? It has been a while. I know. Hello, hello. Hello, Slanesh. Nice to see you. Hopefully I'm not feedbacking. It has been a while since I have streamed on the old laptop. Had a lot of stuff to import. I have an interesting story once we get going here. It's very funny. All of my initial like mainstream elements imported, but none of the materials, like none of the videos. So I have just this line of stuff aside from the basic overlays that I already had downloaded because I didn't upload any of my cool little backgrounds and stuff to my Google Drive before leaving. But that's okay, I have something here. Hello, Hotaru. Nice to see you. Bob. Good old Hanson, right? Let's mute that. We don't need sound coming back out of our speakers accidentally. So, yeah, I'm just making sure I've got... Because, like, back home in Washington, I literally can just fire up OBS and toggle a few things, you know, start the managed stream and just go. Everything's there for the most part. I even have my scene switcher, which I thought about getting one to take with me. But nope. This is back in the day when I was literally had nothing, when I was streaming Dead Space with absolutely nothing fancy. So to go back to that is interesting. You realize what little fun gadgets you had when you no longer have them. So a PSA. PSA. Oh boy. If you are going into a town that you've never been in before, and you want to go somewhere that you know is close by, if you have an Android, do not ask Google to choose for you. Say, take me to Target. And if you know, Eric Reed, welcome. In fact, we should, I gotta find a background. We gotta get rid of this. So while I'm talking here, should you find yourself going somewhere and you want to be lazy, like I chose to do, and you simply tell Google, hey, take me to Target, or even take me to the nearest Target. Oh, no, no, no. It won't take you to the Target. That's 2.1 miles away and roughly 5 to 10 minutes of traffic. It will take your ass 30 miles to the ideal Target it wants you to go. Which is part of the reason why that's not what we want. Let's transform that. Let's fit that screen. There we go. Which is why it took me as long as it did to get back here. Because after about 5 minutes, I looked down at my phone and realized I had 32 minutes to go. And I thought, that's a little far. 33 miles versus 30 miles. That's not what I wanted. So I had to pull off the side of the road, look up Target in Google Maps, and realize that it was giving me the top, what I'm guessing is the more higher rated. It's Target that needed more money, I guess, Lanesh. But yeah, it was Target that was more ideal. And I had to scroll down to the 2.1 mile away Target and select that one. Now, this is not an isolated scenario. Hotaru can attest to this one. Both of us were in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a Target with the best rating. Yeah, I'm thinking so. So Hotaru and I were in Charlotte, North Carolina, because ideally we were going to be having a race at Rockingham before they decided to douchebag it up and ban half of everyone, including Camelot. But we had tickets, so we went. We had, they were non-refundable, whatnot. We went. We had a good time. But we found out, because the way that we're lazy, we want to go to Starbucks and get some nice caffeine before we go places. 3 days in a row, it took us to a different Starbucks. And I believe I put somewhere in there, take me to the nearest Starbucks. We never went to the same Starbucks twice. We had to manually go through and find the Starbucks that we knew was close by, or the one that we recognized. And yeah, that was an interesting, and I evidently forgot that today when I decided to be lazy and asked Google to send me to a Target. So, see what corporate America's doing with other corporate. Google must have deal with Target. That's not outside the realm of possibility. Or owned by part of the same head corp. If you want a good example of how other corporations like to be like other corporations, look at Lowe's. It gave us a tour of all the Starbucks in the city. It did. We went to at least 3 of them. But, yeah, here, I'm going to see. Can I get a little bit of the music going so I'm not just rambling in the background quietly? I think we can. Maybe. Should start to get something here a little bit. So, Hoteller and I both worked at Lowe's. And obviously Lowe's is the direct competitor to Home Depot and vice versa. Well, at some point, 1 and or 2 executives or VPs, take your pick, who former higher-ups from Home Depot were hired onto the higher-ups of Lowe's. And we heard about this because it made its way through the grapevine, and also I think you could even find articles out there. Over the course of, what was it hard? 2 to 3, maybe 4 years, slow transition at first, but then kind of hit hard. Things started to transition away from what was classic Lowe's into near clone of Home Depot, getting rid of desks, certain procedures like flaggers and how they handle things, a tool rental facility, the pro parking lot, company emails. Yes. Now, when you go to Lowe's, you'd swear you were at Home Depot with a shade of blue. It's virtually identical. It used to be you could go into Lowe's, you could sit down at a desk, look at some... No, that is almost non-existent, minus a handful of departments. And obviously they have a tool rental. They punched holes in walls. They changed up a lot. And it's just it's laughable. Whether or not it's good or bad thing, it's not for me to say. But just seeing it, the transition of... Lowe's is always so desperate to be like Home Depot. Like, they can't help it. They're they won't say it. Like, the HR, management, they won't say it, but they want to beat Depot so bad. And those of us looking from the sales floor, we know better. Home Depot is where you go when you want to build something. Lowe's is where you want to go when you want to fix something. Or contractors typically go to Home Depot. Consumer level residential people go to Lowe's. Because it used to be, you'd go to Lowe's if you wanted help with something. Because depending on the store, you would get someone who'd come up and either they try and sell you something or they try and help you with something. Now you go into a Lowe's, no one wants to talk to you. Nobody. They virtually want to avoid you at all costs. Which is kind of sad because one of the managers that we had was really great about, like, approach the customer qualify them, ask them what they need, you know, read the customer. But now whenever you lock eyes with an employee, they either go down an aisle, they disappear entirely. And I don't know if I can blame the employees entirely. It's how they were trained. Managers don't care anymore. There's a clear separation between managers and the employees, as we've seen. I mean, if you watch Camelot's new video, literally an employee was fired after being attacked for trying to stop a thief. Which, oh boy, I got a damn near book I'm gonna write about my old store, or rather Hotaro's and I old store, and the things that we went through there. But yeah, that was an interesting segue away from yeah, don't tell Target to send you places. It won't send you exactly where you want to go. It'll send you where it thinks you want to go. Which I think it wanted to send me to San Diego, which San Diego looked nice, but I'm in Vista. I don't want to go to I don't want to spend 30 minutes going there. But, you know, you can only do so much. So, I don't know if I've asked. I hope everyone's night is going well. I am sitting in a hotel room, obviously. Let's put this out there. Home Depot is hardly used in my hometown due to the fast my hometown is a percent Christian based. Yeah, understandable. Target won't send me anywhere. Google wants to send me anywhere. Yes, that is if Target either wants to target you for ads because it's somehow figured out that you're pregnant, or it just doesn't care to send you anywhere. It's like, I'll go. Yeah, okay. But yes, I am here. I'm here on training. I have. Oh, what time is it? Okay, yeah, we got some time. I'm not gonna be on a whole lot tonight because I have to get up at 5:45. Meh. Because someone decided they wanted to do training at 7 in the morning instead of 8. Oh my god, the first world problems. I might play something here. Depends on what I'm up to. But yes, it has been a while. I know. I have so much that I'm behind on in terms of games. I haven't finished Nier. And I'm sure if Helena's out there, she's very disappointed. Why haven't you finished Nier? Nier requires time. That's not something that I could play like right now, because it's, what's the game that I can equate it to where I would probably WoW, because you will disappear into that game for hours without realizing it, mostly because Nier requires a lot of time to travel distances. But I do want to keep going with it. The music is not going, is it? Why is it not going? I can see it. Did I not have it on? I don't hear it in my headphones. That is interesting. Why is it not playing in my headphones? I can hear myself, obviously. Huh. Okay. Pretty tired. Might go to bed soon. Yeah, I'm feeling exhausted. Or R2. Or Red Dead Redemption 2. Or are you playing Pokemon? Oh god, Red Dead. I have specifically avoided that because that is quite literally a time sink that, You hear it? Okay, that's fine. I wonder, can I force a monitor of music? Nope, that's interesting. I was able to hear it earlier, but now I'm not. Okay. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, fantastic game, real time sync. But again, like Nier, you can set yourself to go from what is it, Valentine to Saint Denis, and unless you know you're not going to get attacked, you just like set your horse to auto. I mean, in the case of like PS4, hold the center button, go into cinematic mode, and you go somewhere and like make coffee, go to the bathroom, because it's going to take you 10 minutes likely before you're going to get anywhere. And that's riding on moderate speed of horse. That's without blitzing right through each town just to get to the location, exhausting your horse to where they hate you and buck you off. Yeah. I had a protein shake, a plant-based protein shake. Left this weird itch in my throat. Not sure why. It was still pretty good. You know what I need to do is I installed Slime Rancher. Well, rather reinstalled it. And I should probably give that a little bit of a go. Just because it's so relaxing, it's so nice. Because unfortunately, as much as I would love to, I can't talk about Skytax. Hey yo, how are you, my good sir? Haven't seen or heard from you in a while. Hope things are going well down in Texas. I believe that's where you're located. I have not been down there in a while. It is it's been a good while since I've actually been traveling regularly. I was doing some interesting work. So I can say this about some of the work. I can't talk about the training other than it's a TCT device that is used at security areas, be it airports, marine, like boat ports and whatnot, and other security areas, contracts that I can't really talk about. But the one that I can talk about, because it's not so much secure as much as it is kind of sad. So over the last year, we were replacing a contract at all the major airports. I don't know if I don't think I can say what contract we went to, but I think I can say what we went from. And what we went from was a company called, it's not so much government, but it is company proprietary. And I don't need the company to jump down my throat with all kinds of funny stuff. But for the airports, the company known as Smith's Detection used to have kind of the monopoly. Actually, not kind of. They had the monopoly. Ooh, excuse me. They had a full monopoly on at least 80% of airports in the country. If you went through airport screening, you went through that checkpoint, you likely sent your stuff through a Smith's Detection system, which was a two-dimensional type CT scan. It was old technology. Well, Smith's got they went full. What's the they went full smug. They were sniffing their own farts. They stopped responding to ticket inquiries. They stopped doing service. They stopped responding to their customers. And this really pissed off the majority of the airports, especially when the majority of the airports are all federally controlled for the most part. Like all the TSA is all federally controlled, and they talk. They operate this shit. and they don't like it. Oh, what's that? Yeah, your mom passed away 3 weeks ago. Been offline for a while, kind of showing it. I am sorry to hear that, man. Why are you training on Windows Vista? Do you enjoy suffering that much? Yes. hate myself, so I'm going to go learning about it. Actually, Vista was not that bad once they fixed it, but the marketing couldn't save it. I am sorry to hear that about that, Skytex. My mom is the only parent left. Dad's gone. Both sets of grandparents are gone, and I'm taking care of my mom, who's in her 70s. So I hope you're in a good place, or at least can get the support that you need. Because I constantly have that thought of what's going to happen. Like I haven't spoken about the circumstances of my dad. Maybe I will one day, but it was a rough one. But I know with my mom, it's going to be hard on everyone. But I hope you have a support group, support network, at least people that you can rely on. Because I know when it came to a certain relative, the bad blood came out fast. The greediness, the selfishness, it came out almost. The ugly people, they came out. Like, let's just say the day the event happened, Hutara and I have talked about this. There were people that we knew in our lives who, the day the event happened, they paraded around essentially how ugly and how disgusting they were. Whereas the rest of us were in shock, trying to deal with stuff. I'm trying to take care of things, and these people just couldn't help but be nasty and terrible. Hopefully you do not have to deal with that. Yes, I have my brothers. We've been cleaning out her apartment all weekend. Still some to do, but most of it is done. Yeah, that's always the tough part. Everything that is memory and that they had as their own memory. I have a lot of my memories up at my mom's. I had a lot of memories at my dad's. Some of that is with me. A lot of it is not. But it's fine. No, other than her cousin, I was the only family she had left. Damn. The unfortunate thing about my mom is she was adopted and only recently has discovered her past through Ancestry.com. She has found cousins, think nieces, nephews, and whatnot, but any brothers, parents, they're all like, what was it? Her dad was like an hour away 3 years ago, and she'd been living in a place for years and didn't know because she didn't have anyone. She had no paperwork. And she found out recently. And so, yeah, she hasn't really had a whole lot. She has us. She has essentially my dad's side of the family. But yeah, it's given her a project to do. I think the most soul-crushing thing so far is finding a drawer full of basically every gift I ever gave her as a kid. You know, the cheap, goofy. Some of them do. Some of them, they keep it. They may not look at it every day, but they treasure it. We waited a year after my stepdad passed to go through his things. No one in my family is allowed to go through my grandparents' things yet. My cousin owns the property and has the old house locked. Yeah. In Hutaru's case, I've learned some of the family, and that's reasonable. You were on a bus on my way home when my father passed of cancer. Apparently, it was so brutal, my mom refused to tell me what happened exactly. Damn. She didn't want me traumatized more than I already was by not making it for the his last hours. Yeah. My grandma passed 15 years ago. Yeah, I remember I was working help desk, and Vitara had messaged me about her grandpa, and essentially it was everyone was going down there for the weekend because it was pretty determined that the clock was ticking and we were past the point of no return. And I flew down there, like, I met people that I'd only heard about, and thankfully we all did. Because, yeah, had we not, it would have been very emotional. There was a friend of mine who, in my teens, when I took a self-defense course, he was like kind of the second in command, and then due to drama and whatnot, he left the school. Excuse me. And then later he had gotten cancer. I don't know which one, but it kind of hit him hard. And because there was respect for him, when we found out that he was in hospice and it was potentially his last night, we closed the school down and we all went up to where he was, and we all just basically gave support, and you could tell that cancer had taken its toll. He was on a breather, and it had been hours, and some of us had not eaten in hours, and there were 4 of us who went out to get food, and we must have been gone only an hour, and halfway through that hour we lost him. No one had, like, this was before the age of common cell phones, so no one had a way of getting a hold of us. And so we got back. It had been just minutes after he passed, because there's people that are just still in like shock, and we walk back and we're just lost for words. It's almost like, should we have left? Should we have stayed there and dealt with it? We don't know. But yeah, I've been there. Most moms always do keep the crafts cut. My mom has mine and my son. My mom has all of my little school projects. I don't know if I can actually say all of them, but a lot of them. I did a little stuffed bear sewing in 1st grade. She has that. I did a longhouse, a Native American longhouse, which I believe was a project based on the film The Indian in the Cupboard. I made this like out of paper mache and what. She still has that. She has a bunch of other stuff still. And it's stuff that probably anyone else would have gotten rid of. But she has it. Probably not in the best condition. Most moms, there's always questions. Yes, there are. You were changing buses in Detroit. You'd called home to talk to him a few minutes ago. Glad I did call. Not yes. That is always nice. Yeah, Oh, speaking of death and tough times, rest in peace, Paul Rubens. We lost him today. Famous Mr. Pee Wee Herman, or Max from Flight of the Navigator, or even the Spleen, if you've seen Mystery Men. But yeah, Rest in peace, Mr. Paul. You talked to your mom on video chat 3 hours before she died to let her see her dog. She seemed fine. 2 hours later, I get a call to get to the hospital ASAP. By the time I get... But at least you got to chat with her for the 3 hours. And that's, I think, what matters. The time you spent. Your mom still has a bunch of your projects from kindergarten. That is... I need to see some of those projects. I don't know where... Well, I know where mine are at the house. I just don't know exactly where they are. Hell, my mom has my old micro machines. At least she better. I still kick myself because I gave my nephew all of my old Legos. And not just like most recent Legos. People, I had Legos from the late 80s to early 90s. If you remember the M-Tron Lego era to the first iteration of the Pirates before they were brought back for Pirates of the Caribbean, I had those Legos. The Ice Planet. I still kick myself every day for getting rid of them. She still hangs my kindergarten Christmas tree ornament on the tree. So it has 1977 written. Wow. That's awesome. Yes, and you almost didn't. Called 3 times and she didn't answer. Girlfriend tried one more time before we left her apartment, so she picked up. That's... persistent is key in some situations. At least you got a hold of her. Your mom has your homemade ornaments and still puts them on the tree. Yes, she does. I have seen them. Because they are nice ornaments. I don't know if my mom has any ornaments that I made. I don't even remember if I made any ornaments. That's probably a better question. But there are ornaments that we do have, at least. I hope we have those ornaments. And that they're not at the other house. I probably should, at some point, not tonight, obviously, but I probably should talk about, like, vent about what not to do in, or what not to allow to happen in the event of a family death. Turns out the old lady has a use. Her nagging gave you the win that day. Nice. That's good. What was I? I was going to mention something. I got off on a bit of a tangent. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about the company that I was working with. So, going all the way back to Smith's Detection. They what is this? Everything you have. My mom is an adult. She has up on her walls, all the walls, or on the beds, on the cabinets, or the huge 5-foot pole with the ceramic carousel-sized horse in her foyer. Oh wow, that's amazing. Got to talk to her one last time. Yes, same here. But no, the Smith's detection system. Excuse me, burps. So they pissed off their customers. They pissed off the entire country, probably even the world, because a lot of these companies are very international. So there was they stopped responding to service requests. Their equipment was falling apart. So it was determined that, okay, we're going to kick Smiths to the curb, but we're not going to tell them about it. So this other company comes along with a new 3D full CT updated bit of technology. Looks pristine. They sell all the bells and whistles and everything. And so over the last 2 years or so, with the team that I was with, we replaced over 400 devices around the country of what were formerly Smith's detection equipment with this new company, which was a joint operation with the company that I was employed by and the customer product. And the question that I always wondered is, where does all this equipment go? Does it get like melted down? Because it's a combination of like steel, aluminum, cabling, plastic, resin. Like there's a lot to it. There's like thousands of pounds of equipment. No, because it's all government controlled, and they want to keep this shit around. At a warehouse near Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas airport, is a warehouse. I can't really say what the company is, but it is essentially known as the graveyard for Smiths. We walked through it one time because we had to do a bunch of refurbishing of our own equipment that had been decommissioned and had been sitting there for months, possibly even years. And we wanted to refurb it so that we could put it in new installs. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of airports, especially major international airports, are spending billions updating their stuff. Can't it be recycled? Oh, it could, Slanish. It absolutely could. But it won't. All that aluminum, steel, all that stuff, the cabling, no. They want it there because what if they're going to use it? Yeah, me too. I treasure that. Thank you for my randomly eclectic memory functions for that call. Unfortunately, it still shows me body. We got to the hospital. Yeah. Bring me thousands of pounds of aluminum copper to melt down. Oh, there's thousands. There's tons. So you think about your typical sized warehouse and how it has like so many thousands of square feet and then has a separator. We walked for acres and acres with just saran wrapped Smith's old scanning equipment, and the stuff is just sitting there, and it's all arranged in kind of like a graveyard. And some of this, I don't know how old some of this stuff is. I recognize these models, you know, these arrangements, and they just keep them there. I don't know what they're going to do with them. Camelot! Welcome, sir. This is another unusual stream. I don't have the most time, but I wanted to at least get something going, so welcome. Nice to see you here. Hopefully you're doing well. I need to bug you about possible races coming up, because now that I'm getting kind of back into the swing of things, I'm hoping maybe I'll have a weekend where I can fly over to wherever you're racing and be able to help out. As the title implies, I'm in, well, as I told you last night, I think, in Vista, California, for training, trying to make myself useful. But yeah, so there's a lot of Smith's detection equipment sitting in Dallas-Fort Worth in a warehouse somewhere. You got offered a ride for Saturday. This coming Saturday? Oof. I need to look back at, or you might need to send me a new schedule. The Steph! How did I almost miss you there? Welcome, Steph. Nice to see you. Oh, you want to hear the dumbest? This isn't so much applied to government. This is applied to healthcare. So you think back to COVID, okay? There's a lot of like supply chain issues going on with COVID. The country was shut down essentially. So I was working major hospitals where everything was virtually locked down. And the company that I was under was Philips Healthcare. And we would be installing $5 to $10 million projects. Now this what I'm talking going to be mentioning is not a project I was on, but it was one that took place like a 6 months to a year prior. And when you do these hospital upgrades, you're installing equipment that typically is on movable arms. There's a company called GCX that does these specialized arms. They're made of aluminum, plastic. They have other odds and ends in them, and they're FDA approved. One of the projects, I think it was in Spokane, Washington, and I say we, it was theirs, like I said, they had ordered the wrong model. And the models are very specific because if you're having a monitor, like if you ever seen in a hospital, they have a patient monitor, those things can be 30 pounds or more. So you have GCX models that are rated for like 30 pounds or under, or 30 pounds or over. Well, someone ordered the wrong model. They ordered around 60 count of the wrong model. And we ballparked somewhere that these arms are around $10,000 to $15,000 a piece. The hospital said, throw them away. These arms come from Germany. Most of Philips' products, Philips healthcare products, are forged, molded, and assembled in Germany, and then are either boated or planed over here to the US, have to go through customs, and then are sent to their respective areas. We were told to throw away 60 arms. Like, do the math. 60 times 15,000. That's nuts. But that's the level of no fucks given that it was applied during COVID, when masks were hard to get, when ventilators were hard to get. They were throwing this crap away. Well, I've got stories. It's amazing what is waste on. Eric Reed, hope you're doing well. Jade, morning. Not a long time no see. I know. It's been a while. Yeah, you're probably just waking up, aren't you? I'm winding down for the evening. I was going to play some, but I had Slime Rancher 2 installed, but I've kind of just been enjoying chatting with everybody. I don't know if it's going to become a regular thing. Maybe I'll do a hybrid where, some streams I just chat for a little bit. Other streams I go around and actually play something. I have kind of little sleep. Hotel beds suck. Let's be real. I've stayed in about 100 hotels over the past year. A lot of the beds just suck. Oh my god. I was in Ketchikan, Alaska, where half the town is built into a mountain of sorts, but built into rocks. I stayed in this place called the Gilmore Hotel, which is part of the Wyndham trademark collection, right? I got it for like $100 to $200 a night on government rate. This hotel, I showed pictures to Hutara. This building must have been built in the early 1900s. The bed that I stayed in was lopsiding over one side because it'd been slept in so many damn times they didn't replace the bed. It was nuts. And there was no AC either. Yeah, melting down the copper. I would sell the bars, we melted down metal for around 9. But oh yeah, you could do so much, Skytex. The amount of copper cabling that we've thrown away, that I know we've thrown away. Literally, we had, not just that, the instructions. Like, I've worked in the paper industry. I've literally sat on paper machines for like 6 to 8 hours and seen manufacture waste, chemicals, the hell we call it? Oh, I can't remember what we used to call the wet paper, essentially. Getting repulped. Power wasted, water wasted. Oh, it's nuts. Man, the scrapper I watched found the dumpster absolutely stuffed full of masks. He even commented 3 years ago that would have been pure. Oh, it would have been. Absolutely. You know what I've noticed? This kind of irritates me. I used to order Sani cloths, like the medical grade Sani cloth wipes from Amazon. You can't do that anymore. can't send it to a residential address. It can only be sent to like a business of sorts. That happened after COVID. I'm kind of pissed off about that. Because I like medical grade wipes. Well, probably don't need to use them now, but when I was traveling hospitals, I would use those to wipe down my car. Because who knows what I'd pick up. You know, I'm working in ICUs, dialysis, special care nurseries. I touched every part of the hospital. So who knows what I was bringing back. Yes, hotel beds are too firm. This one was just, it wasn't too firm. It was just the springs had given up. And so you'd sit on it and it would turn into like this U-shaped mush. And I had to sleep on the other side because it was the less slept on version. Thankfully it was a queen. But yeah, 98% humidity, no AC. Thankfully they had a fan. I had the window open the whole time, and one of the power outlets, it tripped the breaker halfway through the week. I left a very detailed review on Wyndham. I told them they should pull the title and give it to the My Place like a mile or two down the road. That was a much better hotel that I'm gonna stay at if I go back there. Helena! Where's Camelot to sing the Helena intro? You know, I think I'm just gonna like sample that and then just play it. Make way for Helena. I'm just gonna sample that damn thing. And have that specifically. How are you? It has been a while since I've streamed. Greetings from California. Vista, that is. What was it? I think it was Skytex was mentioning working on Vista. You know, surprisingly, all the software that we're using is on Windows 7. We had one. I went to one training for X-rays. They had XP, like Service Pack 3, and Windows 7. They completely skipped Vista, which I thought was hilarious. I want you to. I do not sing. I know. Singing is. You have to understand, like, I can't even stand my own voice when I edit it. Like, I'm used to it, but I listen to myself and I think, man, can I just, like, take voice lessons to sound different? Maybe my voice needs to break in or something. How? Oh, no, I'm not singing that. Anthony Michael Hall did a much better cover of that song than I did. Not to say that Anthony's, like, great, but, like, he sang that pretty well. It's nice to see you all here tonight. I'm literally sitting, like, the lights have got, not the lights, but the sun has gone down. You like, but well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. I sometimes wonder how I would sound on the other end of, like, help desk calls. Oh, that's so. It's funny the correction you made. I don't know how this happened. I understand there's two ways to say my name, and either I told King Queso this, or he found out, and he, like, I gave him a pretty sizable donation the other night, and he, like, really got upset at himself for pronouncing my name differently. Karis versus Karis, which I don't care. I really don't. But he really got upset at himself, and I said, I'm not complaining. So he literally got just plastered over the fact that he didn't pronounce my name right. It's like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Stop it. Get some help, you know? I don't have any AI stories. I don't have my little AI book. But I could literally probably, you know, read something absolutely ridiculous, but no, I packed rather light this trip. I didn't bring tools with me. You retracted a message. Oh, I know which one it was. I could see what you said, and then on the actual stream, it shows, I think, what was different. That's funny. Speaking of moderators, do I need to make people moderators. Do I need to level up anyone? I haven't done so in a while. I don't typically hand out moderation willy-nilly, but there's some people that... Are you in Cali? Yes. Sorry, I don't know if... I think you asked that before. I am in Vista, California. And it's the first time in Vista, first time in San Diego. I think... Latara, I don't remember where I landed before when we were going to see your grandpa. It was years ago, but... a stupid story on that, so... I... Oh, it's bright lights. Slacker. Yes. So, there's actually there's a regional airport where I wanted to land, which is right near Vista. But Delta apparently told me to go screw myself, so... I was in the Seattle area working on a boat, Discovery Princess, because the company that I'm with, we have taken on what's known as ports and borders, and so I'm doing a lot of the service calls for cruise line ships, and they're very nice, by the way. A lot of old money people, retired people doing there, but I was in Seattle, and so I decided, well, I'll just fly out of Seattle and go down to Vista. Nope. Can't go directly to, I think it's like CLD is the code for the airport. Had to go to San Diego and then drive half an hour to Vista. Okay, fine. Oof, that's 8 hours away from me. Yeah. I'm here till... I'll probably be checking out Friday morning, so that I can go back to San Diego, because I have a feeling we're only going to be here till like about noon on Friday, so, and I'll check into a hotel in San Diego, and maybe just drive around for a little bit, just to kind of visit, maybe, or maybe I'll stream, I don't know. Is it gorgeous there? You know, it's actually been kind of nice. It's been relatively cool. The sun hasn't been blaring, hasn't been super hot. It's actually been pretty nice. Kahula Vista? Maybe, if that's what it's really called. The weather in the Bay Area has been relatively merciful. Yeah, it's weird. Like, where I left, when is it? A couple days ago, it was like in the 90s in Washington. Because I had to go to PDX, do some work. Then I had to drive up to Seattle, which, I mean, it's still hot. And I come down here and it's like, it's not bad. I think when I landed on Sunday, it was kind of hot. But then the days following afterwards, like, it's not bad. Like, I can't really complain. Did you get a mouse? I did. I do have a mouse. You can't see it, but I found out where my other mouse went. It went into my tools that I did not take with me. So, yeah, that was just a bad move on my part. But I have multiples now. This is actually I think this is a Razer. I'm not really care about brands. But it was like, okay, it's a wired mouse. It's Razer. It was like 40 or 50 bucks. Okay, I'll get it. Good night, Tutaro. Yes, you and I both have a lot of sleep debt. If I don't talk to you, I hope you have a good night. I need to see how much time I have, because I have to get up at 5:45. I can't do that. Okay, a little bit of time, not a whole lot. But yeah, working these big projects has been interesting, and it's it's definitely opened my eyes up. You know, going from paper industry to traveling the country. Walk of shame. You forgot the mouse. Well, here's the funny thing. So, typically the mouse, I have like one of those cable organizers. It's literally a board with a bunch of elastic bands. And they're different sizes and lengths and overlapping each other. And you can just pull one up and stick something under. Somehow, when swapping tools out, because I normally, like when I was doing the lane installs, I would have a giant Pelican 1615 case that would weigh up to like 70 pounds. And for this, I thought I only needed my smaller case. So I was prepared for that. Well, no, I had to take a bunch of crap up with me. So I'm swapping stuff out. And in the process, my mouse was not in my cable organizer. So it got left in the smaller tool case. And I only realized that when I re-swapped stuff out, because currently the tool case that I'm using is in Seattle because I needed it to go work on the Discovery Princess. So it's there. But I kept the older mouse at home, and I have the Razer with me, so I have a backup. Playing GTA Online, doing degenerate things for entertainment. I could not get into GTA Online. Traveling the country, yep, you're jealous. It is not for everyone, Steph. It's definitely something I enjoy. But I have to stress, it is not for everyone. And I'll explain why. Let's take a drink. So... oh, fun anecdote. We were talking to a guy who's dating. And when I referenced you, he asked, "Is that the nice streamer?" I shouldn't laugh at that. Thank you. As opposed to Cody, who is, well, crude to put it gently. Cody is directly between the eyes. I am far too subtle right now. Maybe give it a year. We'll see how poised I become. Shame on your mother called Cody. He's a little rough around the edges is all. I understand Cody's pain. I understand it. We've talked. We've talked in person. He has his mindset. I have mine. It's fine. What was I talking? Oh, Steph, I think it was. So, there's a few things, Steph, if you want to travel the country. One, find a job that can support it. In my case, I'm a federal contractor. I don't always have the most freedom to stay in a hotel that I want. Because I am limited. Lots of burps. Excuse me. I'm limited by the per diem, so it changes per state. But like I think in this, let's actually do. Let's look this up here. Oh, that's bright. Let's go per diem rates. So I can stay in any hotel, California. As long as it falls within, what are we in? We're at the end of July. What county are we in? San Diego, right? Where is it? I thought I had it already. Yeah, San Diego. So for end of July, I had to stay within a hotel that is $186 or less. Any hotel, Steph. Any hotel. $186. Unless, of course, I decided to not do that and just pay for it out of pocket, because whatever I do rent at that rate will be reimbursed. specifically because it's going on a corporate card, which is something else I kind of have to use. I don't really care for the corporate card. I'd rather use my own credit card because I get points, and I get points for the hotel stay because I'm doing the point system through Marriott and Hilton. But I also get points on my Amex cards. Well, problem is Amex has the most expensive merchant rates, and US Bank has less because it's Visa. So there's some pros and cons, but if I, like in the case of the end of the week, this is where I kind of get to have some fun stuff. So if I do check out on Friday and I drive back to San Diego, I can A, stay in a hotel that is within per diem, or I can choose to spend my own money on whatever hotel I want, as long, like, I will have to eat that cost, or 3, I can use points, which I have. In the case of Hilton, I have like 450,000 points. I can stay in whatever hotel I choose to. So I have that to choose from. It's just a matter of what do I want to spend those points and go above per diem, or find something within per diem that's still relatively nice. So there are pros and cons to it, but you have to play the game a while to figure out what you can do. I missed out on stuff. Cody's got a little more mean on his streams compared to when you joined 2 years ago. You don't like it. Your friends on. Yeah, that's. I have noticed an evolution. I'll put it that way. Let me use the corporate card. I need a Ferrari. It's only $11,000 limit. Sorry. Us US guys, we get 11K. The UK guys get like 4,000 pounds. I don't know why. But I don't like it because I have to submit very time sensitive expenses, and I have to itemize everything. Like everything. Every room rate, every tax. For flights, I have to give a purchase receipt for the flight, and also I have to give the itinerary copy to super prove that I took this flight. So it has its pros and cons. Whereas when I was a contractor, I literally just gave like, oh yeah, I spent like $1,200.58 on something. Here's the receipts. And it was taken care of. Now, because I'm an employee, I have to do things a lot more in depth, but that's Concur for you. You get some discounts. Now, Steph, here's the cherry. So, do you get much time to explore different areas? Depending on the project, yes, I do. Like in this case, because it's training, we get off between 4 and 5. If I wanted to, I could drive around for several hours and see sites. When I was doing projects in Indianapolis, like right in Indianapolis proper, I stayed over the weekend because we were there for months doing installs. And I got to a point where it's like, flying home takes too much time because it literally was like a 10-hour plus flight because I'd be bouncing through Atlanta and other places. So I just stayed the weekend. I found out that Indianapolis has this really cool thing where in Party District, they cordon off a few blocks of the street, and they give you basically freedom to just like get shit-faced, get plastered, do whatever you want. I was walking through, taking some pictures because it's, they got the Capitol there and whatnot. I thought there was like a celebrity in town, like Mike Tyson or somebody was. No, it was just Saturday. It was Saturday night, and police are cordoned off there. They're just hanging out. They got an ambulance just on standby, so if anyone gets hurt or falls on their face and whatnot, they'll be there to respond. But it's like, this is the norm for them. Like, that was cool. I would have never known that had I not just gone wandering around exploring the town. I think on my Instagram, it was a while back, but I did post some really cool shots of the city. And yeah, Indianapolis is cool. It's got a big old statue in the center of town. You can walk virtually everywhere as long as you're within downtown. You're up near San Francisco. Crash with Hataro. New Hope. I seen your office. Your office is vast. My office is not vast. Like I wish it was bigger. You gotta be surprised. Don't make using the makeup to provide some type of set. That would be so much fun. Let's see. Steph, were you the one that was saying you're a nurse? Yes, you're a nurse. Okay, so you could, depending on your experience, you could actually be a traveling nurse for Philips Healthcare. I'm told they make bank because not only are you a nurse, but you are a nurse who specializes in the specific equipment of Philips. And given that it's very proprietary, like the nurses that we worked with were kind of this semi-project manager where whatever they wanted the equipment to look like, whatever the SpO2, I can't remember half the terms anymore. There's a lot of configurations, like colors, you got to decide that, given whatever the parameters were, but you had a key part of setting up deciding the equipment. You worked with the other nurses on site, you trained them if that was something that you wanted to do. Like, you can do a lot with Philips Healthcare as a nurse. Like, I envied their role, and they got to travel. And because you use Concur, you basically have access to what I have access to, which is your part per diem. I think if you want to rent a car, you can rent a car, and it's a little cheaper than normally renting through. Like, if you went through National, you get some better rates. Hackers need to die? What'd I miss? My previous therapist had the same reaction. That's the hard limit for me. Not gonna watch. Not gonna watch? Oh, I missed that. If you watched... Richard. Don't, Richard, no. So, I think I have an achievement. I am one of the few people who has seen their fair share of random bullshit on the internet. I have never seen 2 girls, 1 cup. Never. Gotten close. Someone tried to trick me with it once, but I recognize the music. I know the music. Even now, someone could play the music and I'd be like, nope, fuck off. You died, that kind of thing. But no. 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 I have not experienced it, and I feel proud. I've been scarred by so many other things on the internet. I've seen many terrorist videos. I'm good with not seeing that. I'm perfectly fine. I will happily be naive, knowing not what is on that video. And I think you all will be happy as well. You have extensive experience with the fetal monitors. I used to assemble we put together 15 of the little carts for the electronic field monitors. I was in Tacoma. I think it was Tacoma General. We were in a warehouse. We put together the carts for the field monitors. Yeah. You do well as a traveling nurse. At the time, I don't know if this is the case now because it's been several years, there was heavy demand for nurses. It was so heavy of demand that there was a project in Roseburg, Oregon. I think I could talk about it now because it's been several years. We had so many COVID patients, they locked down the hospital and the governor deployed the National Guard. It was that fucking crazy. So you made the mistake. You can't see the thing. Yep, you can. So we were in Roseburg, Oregon, and we were supposed to have deployment on like X date in August or September. Well, the hospital decided, no, we're going to, and here's the word they used, cancel the go live. Bad word to use. That information got sent to the nurse who was going to be on site. That basically told the nurse, okay, this time is now free. We can use it whatever. We're not going to need them. What the hospital really meant was delayed. Well, too fucking bad. You just lost a year and a half. You're going to have to wait a year and a half before the nurse can come back. Because they're that rare. Your spidey senses kicked in. Yes. Whenever I hear that music, they always kick in. There are some things that I just need to hear the startup sound of it, and I just be like, nope, we're not doing that. There was a time when I had memorized the ending URL for the Rickroll. It was like QW4 something like that. I was memorizing it because it was becoming really popular for people to send it, but then it kind of like died off. So, but I could easily find out real quick. So, you have a non-subject question. We have those. Master K and oh. What did the K stand for? What's up? I have been rambling so much I've missed out. If you're in it, I'll watch it, but if you rickroll me, there won't be consequences. You know that everyone essentially fell for a new version of the Rickroll when the insurance company redid the Rickroll by having Rick Astley come back and do it. Like, you all know that was part of the joke, right? Sonia Lysette! Welcome. It is nice to see you here. There's been no game. It's just me. Just me talking with all of you. If I was a sports fan, I used to be, would you rather have a throw to take to games to keep... Oh, have a throw to take to games to keep warm, or would you rather have a queen-sized furry bed? I'm thinking. Probably a throw to take the games. I do have a sports story. Ever since the Supersonics got sold to Oklahoma, I've been bitter, but there was a game that I went to. It was in Seattle. I think it was in the 90s, like 94 or something. It was Seattle versus Portland. And I had the memory, like we left in the second or third quarter because it was a completely one-sided game. And my memory was, hang on, what was it? Sonics versus Portland. What year was that? Game Seattle. Seattle, yeah, I think it was 91. 1991. What was the final score? It was an ungodly score. Oh, this isn't gonna be it, is it? Was this it? Game 2. Where was game 2? Damn, they were pretty close. I don't remember which one it was, but pretty much what had happened was I think we were under the impression that the Sonics were winning. Like, they were just kicking butt. And it was so just like, I think the Sonics were like 90-something, and the Blazers were at like 40 or 50. And it, like, there was no fun. And so we left, like, halfway through the game. Excuse me. Years later, I learned that it had flipped and that the other team had won. We never checked back because, like, the internet wasn't really that much of a thing. Like, there was no index to look for who won games at the time. So realizing that, I think this was during COVID that I was talking with people who knew a lot about games. And so I talked about that one time, and we brought up one of the guys, like, he's a massive nerd. Like, he spends hours doing, like, character customizations, whatnot. He brought the stats up. He's like, oh yeah, that game. It turns out this, like, Trailblazers 100 to what. I was like, oh my god, like, my world is shattered. Like, my childhood is ruined, kind of thing. But, yeah, that was fascinating to see that comparison of remembering what likely happened in your mind versus what ended up actually happening. I don't think I was mad. I was just, like, blown away by it. Loved your sleep. Yes, Sonia has a video where she does a cover. It was very nice. It's wonderful. Throws our butt to foot gun. Oh, I don't do football. I do not do football. You want to know why I don't do football? It's one game in particular. I occasionally, like, I'd be over at my dad's place when he was still around, and we watched the Seahawks versus some team. And the game had kind of just started. It was like first, second quarter in. Seahawks, they're doing, like, first down, boom, they move on, and they, you know, next first down, boom, they're just owning it all the way to the end zone. And they're just creaming the other team. And then we hear the announcer, well, it looks like the coach has decided to change up the play. They're at the fucking end zone. And they announce that they change up the play. And what happens? They get slammed all the way back to the beginning. That screams bullshit to me. And I even said to my dad, I was like, "Did you believe this crap? Who up in the damn box called for the game to suddenly stop and the coach to, like, that just did not seem right. They were doing the same play over and over. You could see it, just boom, 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 and they're right there. They could have taken the touch. It was within like 5 feet of the touchdown, and they change up the play and get slammed back. That bullshit, people. Fucking bullshit. And I said, I'm done with football. I'm done. That is beyond fake moon landing bullshit. That is, I was done. So, yep. I don't do that anymore. There was a team and another team in numbers. So many numbers. Yes, Scaly. Scaly, how did I miss you? When did you jump in here? I am sorry. Hello, Scaly. Welcome. I am such an idiot for not noticing you before. Square's allergy. Oh, new facial product. Oh, that is not good. I'm sorry to hear that. You are only football for one team only. As I watched it get kicked out of my face. My family knows I don't care for football. My family should know that I don't care for politics. Like, I don't care for politics so much that when When somebody brings up how terrible one politician is, I just say, okay, yeah, that seems reasonable. And like, but yet they want me to hate this other politician. It's like, why? Why put energy into that? That involves some effort. I'm not going to waste it on a politician. I will waste putting the kind of hatred onto like a Witcher character. Like this season, Witcher 3, which I know like people either love or hate. Drinker has gone and he just released a video about how shit it is. Like, I'm trying to decide whether Henry Cavill has really given a no fucks given performance, or if he's, honed in trying to act like Geralt. I don't know. I don't know if he's in the checked out phase or not. But that's the kind of effort that I will put in watching something like that versus a politician. All politicians are evil. I would say so. Maybe directly or indirectly, but I don't put enough stock in it. I just don't trust them. So the major vote is for a throw over a queen size. Can I do a vote? Can I vote? Can I cat? How do I probably can't. How do I do a vote? How do I do a poll? You know what? I'm probably not high enough. I would say asterisk. Generally a throw, but depending on the people, you may want a queen size. I think it comes down to how big is your party. So I would say lean more towards a throw. But if you got some people that forgot to bring something, bring the bigger one. But that's me thinking technically in the what if scenarios. You had some very, very expired corticosteroids? Did I pronounce that right? Luckily still work. It's cold out. Damn. You love The Witcher. You know what? I enjoy aspects of The Witcher. I'm not blind to what they've done. I played the first 2 games. I kind of started the third game, but then I stopped. I know what they're doing. It's subtle, but I'm not blind to it. But I still enjoy aspects of it. You're happy. I'm glad that I'm streaming again. I'll be honest, there are days where I kind of get in this self-hatred mode where I think I haven't earned the right to stream. And so I don't. Like, there were times where I'd be home and I would have I'd have time and I'd go upstairs, but then my brain would say, no, you can be doing better things than wasting your time streaming. And so I wouldn't stream because I'm constantly, in that state of flux. But today it's like, I felt really bad. Like, I literally felt guilty. And so, yeah, here we are. We're at an hour and a half. Witcher 3 is the only one to play. Witcher 3, from what I've heard, is easier. The difficulty kind of ramps backwards. The first one, it's so difficult, I literally found a game-breaking bug to where I couldn't progress. I was supposed to find some information about the main antagonist, Salamandra, and I was in a town, and I didn't do something in a certain order, and I broke the game halfway through. The second one, I skimmed through too much, and I didn't experience the full game. I beat it, but then I learned through other online videos that I missed a whole lot. And 3 is essentially, I think, open world. So I need to go and do that one. Well, he travels for work around in his truck a lot. He stays in little furnished apartments. If I If I had a vehicle, I'd probably do that too. Ugh. No, my comment about effing hackers earlier is a reference to my GTA. Oh, I've heard about that. I think Moonheart's talked about that somewhat. Pretty much I've given up all hope on almost every major game that has a versus. Just because I have learned about so much in terms of how easy it is to hack. There's a YouTuber, Upper Echelon. He did a video about 6 months to a year ago on a hacking community known as precision aiming. That is, it's so good, no anti-cheat can defeat it. Like all these big companies, Punkbuster, Valve's anti-cheat, nothing. But you have to pay for it. It's very secretive. And their biggest customers are the, what is it? Apex Legends, the Call of Duties, what's the other one? The PUBGs, all the major ones. Those are their primary customers. So it's like, I don't take these games serious anymore. They probably do Team Fortress 2 as well. Speaking of which, I'm going to be doing a stream of Team Fortress 2 one of these days, probably this week, because that game is getting shut down, so rest in peace on that one. Look forward to that. You deserve for you to stream. Yes, Richard. You do. You like here. I'm more comfortable talking now. It's one of those things like, it's this barrier. I have to get past that self-hatred barrier, but once I'm there, everything's fine. So it's just, I gotta get back to the swing of things. Let's see. Oh, Ruski. It's been a while since I've seen you. Welcome, welcome. What does... The ellipses literally doesn't do anything. Okay. Make sure to like the stream if you haven't done it. Yes. What Sonia says. You'll never hear me demanding or calling for it. Because I don't think that's for me to say. Alright, well, I'm not... You're too high. Oh, you're high! Sometimes I kind of feel the need to get high, but not tonight. Keyboard and desk. Since it pizza for suffrage. Well, have a good night, Slinish. I'm gonna have to be winding my stream down here shortly. But it's nice to see you. Puts on Pope hat, holds up index and middle fingers. You are worthy to stream. All sins are forgiven. Stream every day with confidence. No, I have to go, what was it, in Dark Souls, you have to go to the top of the tower, pay the stupid fine, and he'll forgive your sins, right? That's the other way that I can do it as well. I've played Dark Souls enough times to remember that. Good night, Slaanesh. It's nice to see you here. It has been a while, Ruski. I think, what was it, one of the last times you stumbled in when, like, my stream said Elden Ring, and I was playing something completely different? Or was that a different person? I don't remember. Well, thank you. I try to entertain. I always think to myself, it's like, who the hell would want to listen to my lame ass? I'm no one special. I'm the guy who has picked all the jobs that do not involve me being like the lead front foreperson of a situation where I can always be in the background. Literally, I went to college to be a music engineer, which is the most thankless job in the music industry. Like, the producer has more credits, the writer has more credit, the singer, you know, but the engineer, you never hear about them. Never. And that's the role that I wanted to be. And here I am blasting myself all over the internet. That made me think back to Batman Arkham. Hearing Mark Hamill talk about, maybe I'll record it and post it on the internet. That was that not weird for those of you who played Batman Arkham Asylum? Hearing Joker, after all these years, talk about the internet. Just like it took me out of the game for a moment. Like, I felt this disconnect to the story. Like, wait, what? Okay, I guess we're modern day now. You left the Camelot family, didn't I? I traveled these YouTube streets. Holy God. Oh, you almost went into a Scandroid song. Risky, look up Scandroid Empty Streets. I've listened to far too much synthwave. You're the guy that bought me chicken strips in a Mexican restaurant. Audio engine is maybe more important than producer. Yes. Important, well, important is irrelevant. If you're a Max Martin, who, if you don't know who Max Martin is, basically, he was the primary writer of a lot of the early 2000s, late 90s artists like Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney. Like, Max Martin has his name on things. He's a writer, producer. He is rich. He is a ghostwriter, kind of. Famous songs like I Want It That Way, pretty sure that was Max Martin. Baby One More Time, that was Max Martin. He's done a lot. I think even Christina Aguilera did a bunch of stuff for her. Look at me misgendering a famous singer. How dare I? But yes, the engineering is important because if you want a good example, there's two examples of good engineering and bad engineering. Good engineering, I would say, who should I ramble off? Virtually anything from Cell Dweller. That he's not the greatest writer. He's kind of a mediocre lyricist, but he's a musician and he's an engineer, and he's damn good at being an engineer. You take Switchback, you take some of he did Scandroid, Circle of Dust, he remastered Circle of Dust. Like, he's a good engineer. If you want a bad example or a non-example of engineering, Pound Town. Attempt to listen to that, and you will, like, these are hard extremes. Which I'm gonna do a hot take here. Real hot fucking take. People give Nickelback a lot of flack. That wasn't supposed to rhyme, but oh well. But the thing that I don't understand is that Nickelback and Cell Dweller have the same amount of quality to them. They're both overly engineered out the ass. Cell Dweller, his name was given to him because he dwells in his cell and perfects his music. He makes it everything perfect. Everything is leveled, tweaked exactly the way he wants it. Nickelback does the same thing. Do you guys like garbage music? That would be my response question. If you want garbage music, go listen to Pound Town. Listen how garbage that is. Steve Duda is a famous... I know that name. I don't know where, but I know. I'm gonna have to look. The Weeknd too. Abel. Yes, Abel. Oh boy, that guy is... He has taken his pain and turned it into a very fantastical art. I was so obsessed with Save Your Tears when, like, I was trying to think of a way to remix it. And then when the Ariana Grande remix came out, I was trying to find a way of doing a, like, blend. And I technically did. It was a draft. It's unlisted now, but you know, other people have done drafts, but I wanted a way of blending those two. And so yeah, I I did my own because I loved that song. That song was if you haven't seen the video for Save Your Tears, it's deep. It's really deep. Like you have to listen to it twice, or watch it twice. Watch it for its visual, superficial aspect, and then listen to it. It is a very deep project that he did. I really enjoyed it. I don't like his early stuff, but then again, I'm not big on rap. And he was a lot more rap and R&B, whereas now he's kind of gone more. Excuse me. Dinner has been making its way back. He went into pretty much synthwave with like the album with Save Your Tears, and I like that one. I've seen him so many times. Seen him in person? That's cool. What artists have I seen? Last Chance Summer Dance, summer of 1999. Let's see if I can rattle them all off. In no particular order. Savage Garden, Brian McKnight, Mandy Moore, Soul Decision. Who else? There was a bunch of others out there. I can't remember. It was like a 16-hour day. There was so many artists. I went there for Savage Garden. This is before the breakup, of course. Mandy Moore was this is before she hit her growth spurt. But yeah, that was fun. In concert. Soul Decision, yes. Back when they were still a popular thing, Soul Decision was there in person. They did a fantastic cover of Summer 69. Bryan Adams' Summer 69. Oh, it was great. Savage Garden was End of the Night. And it was what people were there for. No 98, no 5. There was a lot of different art. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if 5 was actually there now that I think about it. There's probably like a track list somewhere. It was in Portland, Oregon, right out of Waterfront Park in 1999. It was sponsored by the Z100 Morning Zoo radio station. Faded was... I have the single to Faded. Still. Giorgio Moroder. That's a hit and miss for me. I never realized how important that guy was to electronic music. Giorgio Moroder did... Right, I spell that right. No. Moroder. Yeah, Moroder. Yeah, as father of disco. And I didn't realize how much they had done. Collaborated to help make the Axel F music. Did a bunch of stuff with Lana Del Rey. Worked with Kylie Minogue, Britney Spears. I mean, like, yeah. Who was it? I listened to... There was something... It's on my stream intros. Here's showing, before I forget, Donna Summer. Oh boy, I grew up with Donna Summer. So here's something that's showing my age. Eiffel 65 came out in like 99 or 2000. They were one of the first big, like, popular Italian electronic music artists. Well, recently, and like recently as in a year ago, the main singer, Jeffrey J, teamed up with Roberto Tuotti, Authority. I'm probably butchering that. They came out with a song called My Lover, which I'm really happy to see that Jeffrey is still singing. Like, after Europop came out, Eiffel just kind of died out in the US, even though they came out with Contact, they came out with like 4 or 5 other albums over in Italy and the rest of the UK. But you never heard about it in the US. Europop was the only one that really was successful. Contact was even kind of like meh in the US. And that was really sad because Jeffrey's really good. And just to see that the other day, here, I'm even going to be, I'm going to be a spam whore, and I'm just going to, like, drop it in the chat. You're all going to listen to this. You can enjoy this. But, yeah, I saw that the other day, because occasionally I go through some old channels. I'm like, oh, who's here? Who's still making stuff? Scarface, the rule. I have not heard that one. Scarface, the world is yours. It's a game? Interesting. I heard about a Scarface game, but I didn't know. Interesting. I mean, before the closest thing we'd gotten to Scarface was essentially Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Tommy Vercetti, voiced by Ray Liotta. Rest in peace. Great voice acting there. I loved Vice City, even though I didn't get the collection when it came out, because I was sus. I was very sus that it was going to be true, and lo and behold, I was right. It was a pile of garbage. Now, I think they fixed a bunch to where I would probably play it now. But I don't know. I've been burned by enough games that when I hear about something coming out, it's like, no, I'm going to wait a little while. Like, I plan on making a video. Bold move. Put out Euro in 2020. I know, right? I plan on actually writing a script for a video once I finish. I've still been playing Jedi Survivor, and I'm basically gonna call out the bullshit that all these initial people had. There's video after video of people saying, oh, Jedi Survivor's the worst port, I can't wreck. Fucking Mudahar said it was the worst port. And I'm just thinking, what do you guys want? You want the gold, you want basically GoldenEye. You want the days of Nintendo 64 or the days of PS3. Jedi Survivor's fine. And I don't, there's like, I think Toby and I talked about this. There's such a desire to hate on things. Just like, we have to hate on everything. Why? Why do you have to, why can't you just enjoy something? And so I plan on really calling out, I don't have much of a voice or anything, but I am loving Jedi Survivor. There's a couple moments where, because I have the PC port, things kind of slug a little bit. But it is not game breaking. The way people reacted to Jedi Survivor is worse, I would argue, than when people were calling out Cyberpunk 2077, which I did not have really any opinion on when it came out because I knew it was not going to be ready. People were calling for it to be released. They could not wait. This is the game that had been in development for 7 years and it still wasn't done. I did not play that when it first came out. I think I played it like a month or so afterward, and it still wasn't ready. I basically played it as though it was like a demo, but Jedi Survivor was the one that kind of broke the camel's back and made me say, okay, I'm not going to be fucking quiet on this shit anymore. You know, I'm one guy, but I've been playing games my whole goddamn life. Game development has changed. You are not going to get GoldenEye 64 anymore. You are not going to get Half-Life anymore. You're not getting Half-Life 2 anymore. You're not getting Call of Duty Modern Warfare anymore. And it's time people need to fucking wake up and recognize that. You can't just blindly go willy-nilly and believe the marketing anymore. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a unicorn. I'm sorry. It is. The PC port didn't come out for, what, a year or two? So all we had was the PS3. It was pretty good. It was really good. But there's this high standards of we need to expect more. We need to demand more from game development companies. I have some experience in this. I've never worked in the games industry, but I know people who have directly. And what they have told me is very sad. And it's just, you can't be naive anymore. You really can't. But it annoys me that you have these people who, they just bitch. All they can do is hate. This game sucks. That game sucks. Stop playing the fucking games then, people. Shh, I know you're doing it for clicks. Your channel doesn't exist without the rage watch. I get it. But it's annoying when there's video after video after video that starts to try and paint this picture that a game is bad. No, it's not. People were shitting on Battlefield 2042. I played it 3 weeks into its release. It was amazing. It had broken aspects, but it was amazing. I thought it was rather hilarious that you could take a vehicle and drive up the side of a skyscraper. That was funny. It wasn't supposed to happen, but it was funny. And you have those young yas out there that's all they can do is hate on it. Fallout 76 is a failed game because you had those young yas out there that were just saying it's terrible. You want more Transformers? What's the game? Oh, I don't remember it. I think it was PS3. Age of Cybertron? I heard that was a really good one. I actually looked up, but it was old Total Biscuit video. He really liked that one. And so, yeah, I think if something like Cybertron were to come out today, people would just naturally hate on it because, oh, it's not 100% perfect. You're not gonna get 100% perfect anymore, people. That's just not how it works. Yeah, I don't want political ideology or activism. Unfortunately, we don't get that anymore. Like, Jedi Survivor is going to be a lot of my ranting and complaining, but in the sense of the opposite. Like, appreciate what you have, as dumb and as bad as that sounds. You, like Scaly, Richard, Steph, me, Sonia, we have no say in what these companies do anymore. None. At all. We have to become the better person, unfortunately. You need to be represented. If you want to be represented, go play a Robin Hood game. There's a king named after you. Somewhere. But yeah, I think the perspective that I will use for this video is that I have to be careful with what I choose because as someone who travels for a living, I don't have a lot of time. So I'm not going to waste my time on a game that is likely bad. Like, I'm not going to play something right away because I want to see who all is doing reviews on it. Like, I'd gotten Jedi Survivor, but I only played 30 minutes of it, and then I think I had to go back to Indianapolis. Well, Unbeaten Gamers, or Gamers Unbeaten, had, Toby! Nice dong, fam. Thank you. Thank you. I try and maintain it. Gamers Unbeaten, that's what it was streaming Jedi Survivor. And I gave a super chat and I said, be honest. What do you think of this game, Chris? Because Chris Chappell is the one who basically is the front of Gamers Unbeaten, China Uncensored, America Uncovered. Go check him out. It is good stuff. I said, be honest. Is this game good? Is it garbage? He said, it's good. Like, compared to what I've seen, like, I think it's really good. And that's that kind of honesty that I wanted. That you don't get from these rage viewers who have basically adopted the AVGN irate gamer mindset while trying to claim to be the total biscuit objective reporter. No, you can't have your cake and eat it too. 2 girls, 1 cup, no eyeliner. Game. No scaling. It's not happening. Fun times. But yeah, War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron. Yes, that's what it was. Age of Cybertron? I'm probably thinking like Age of Wonder, or there's probably an Age of Ultron game out there, but yeah. That's my plan. I have 2 scripts already. The first is my little story for Camelot, which is virtually going to be a book. Virtually. I'm not going to get it published. And then the other, once I complete Jedi Survivor, I'm going to write a review of it. Because it's like, I stand on the sidelines here, and I try and find some positivity. But when I see, like, YouTube would not stop sending me, you should hate Jedi Survivor. You should not play Jedi Survivor. It's like, okay. There's something going on here. I'm tired of sitting by and letting this crap happen. You hate reviewers these days and the people who take their shit opinions as gospel, but you already knew that. Ooh. Yeah. It's really pathetic. Everyone wants to seem like they have it's what I call the flat earth effect. Every one of those people out there believes that they have the secret information, and kind of to some weird extent, critical drinker feels that, his word is gospel. Yeah, he's a writer. I got his first audiobook. I'm listening to it. It's pretty good. But there's still this aspect of, I know things that you don't. What was that? Dr. Mike called it the I know everything effect. And I'm tired of it. I'll be one to admit, let's rattle off where I've worked in life. I've worked retail, both grocery and actual like box store retail. I've worked merchandising retail. I've worked corporate environment. I worked the paper industry, healthcare, went back to paper industry. I worked government. I currently work federal contracting government, airline industry, cruise line industry. Like, I have jumped a lot of industries, and even I don't consider myself, a lot of that was all 7 to 8 years of IT. And I'm not an expert in anything. So why do these people who haven't even been around as long as someone like me has claim to be an expert in gaming? My mind is blown. It really is. Like, you want to talk about high fidelity, and it was like, have you even fucking touched a 3D development program? There's videos out there and videos and mods of models and maps that I have personally worked on. Like, you want to go see some of my work? Go look up some of the Alex reskins out there. I did the beta one. You might find it on the Gmod stuff. Yeah, I built that thing and released it. Most people don't even know it's mine. I don't consider myself an expert. But there's so many of these people, like Toby said, they're gospel. I know better. No, you don't. Stop. Just stop. Sit down before you hurt yourself, kind of thing. Stage 1, you have 30 seconds. Oh, I see what you're doing, Scale. You're turning... Oh my god, Scale, you just gave me an idea. Turn Two Girls, One Cup into like a Saw-based horror game. Oh. I have a terrible mind. I had Richard as represented in that one. It was the same with Battlefield... Oh, Back for Blood and Battlefield 2042. You and I both know how good it is. I, unfortunately, fell for the Back for Blood. That was one of those I'd seen too many people who said that it's garbage, and but I didn't fall for 2042. I was one of those who was speaking. That's how I found Simple Jack. Like, I think he's changed up, but you should check out Simple Jack Live. That guy, like, he will throw a plane at another person. He will kill a person on the ground by you throwing a plane at them. I've tried that. I can't do it. You know, I both know this game where it did get fixed. They were ruined, but yeah, I never played Battlefield 4, so I don't know about that. I have it. I probably should play it. Wish people would make their own opinions instead of listening to you. I have had to become smarter to take my pre-order. It'll be not green light. We don't have that. It'll be early access. Early access, $5. Gave someone idea. My work here is done. You can make a game for free on Unreal Engine 5. I think Epic only wants like 5% of the cut. You just need the resources to be able to run it. You heard it was bad, but you eventually played it because I made you. Yeah, you did keep mentioning it several times, and it was on sale. I was like, you know what? Yeah, this is pretty good. Let's see. Found out you were lied to by the internet, hence my first episode being named You People Lied to Me. I remember that. Yeah. I still don't like Back for Blood. Too complicated, too much going on. Lost the fun factor. Left for Dead without gaining anything really good. There were some counter arguments that are kind of reasonable with Left 4 Dead. Like, the zombie clothing was made... I mean, I'd have to go make an actual comparison, but at the time, Left 4 Dead had clothing that was representative of the situation in the map. Like, you wouldn't have someone with a construction hat sitting in a hospital. I don't remember if that was changed in Back 4 Blood, but there was a lot of those kinds of examples that were brought up. There's other aspects of Back 4 Blood that I mean, my first playthrough, I found the most legendary weapon, the sledgehammer. I don't want any other weapon now. I just want that damn sledgehammer. That's all I want. Just let me hold down a console and force spawn that item so I can carry it all the time. Bro, it's literally the same experience. It actually is. It is the same experience. The graphical fidelity is different. It is... Left 4 Dead has a very... like, in terms of like level geometry, it's a little simpler, whereas Back 4 Blood is they're able to go more dynamic with some of the maps and stuff. I don't know how the level designing works for Back 4 Blood, but with Left 4 Dead, you could have some aspects that were randomized. So because I knew how the inner workings of the source engine work, you would have an option of 3 paths. You'd have A, B, and C at like a junction point. Well, you could have the logic randomly choose what path you had to take, and that would give you a unique experience. And in some cases nowadays we have like procedurally generated crap, but that was something unique for the source engine to do. And I actually tried building that into a map that I was going to release using a similar method, but then I got busy with work and never finished it. So I don't know if they did that for Back 4 Blood, but if they did, cool. Back 4 Blood still has some... Excuse me, I am burping a lot tonight. Probably all the ginger mints. Back 4 Blood does have things that I do enjoy. Hence why I got the game. It's not Source, so immediately. Source is so old. It really is. There are the aspects about the Source engine that don't work anymore. Like there was this element known as environmental sound that when you would be within a proximity of it, there would be this file that would trigger, and just random sounds would start playing, so you wouldn't have to force artificial sounds to be played or have timing. Like in Half-Life 2, you could be in the middle of a city and you'd hear, if it was during the fight scene, you'd have like, I think it was Courtyard pre-Citadel fight, and there would be like random gun sounds going off, whereas like another part of the early section of the game, you could have Mellow Courtyard and would have like birds and stuff. Just these pre-developed environmental soundscapes that don't work anymore. Like I've tried. You can't use them. You have to essentially go the old-fashioned route of timing these sounds off rather than using the soundscape. So there are things about the Source engine too that just, not Source engine, Source engine, they're broken. Can't use them. And it sucks. Because I really liked the Source engine. Other than you can't do day and night. So Back 4 Blood has set paths, which is majority of the maps, and Left 4 Dead. Yes, it is still pretty damn linear. The game director similarly practices the same system. I need to play more to find out, like, Left 4 Dead had this weird cheeky way of punishing you if you wandered away from the group and the director noticed that you wandered away from the group. Boom, you instantly got hit with a horde as punishment for leaving the group. Weird things like that would happen. I don't know if that's the case for Back 4 Blood. Not to mention they ran cards. Yeah, Alan Jones, you joined just in time. I'm actually getting really close to ending this because I gotta get to bed, unfortunately, folks. I wish I didn't, but I have to get up early for my training. Speaking of which, let us see where my time is at. How am I past? Yeah, that's fine. I got a little left. Oh, we've really covered some. I don't know if we covered some ground, but I'm surprised how many people have tuned in tonight. No, this isn't going to become Naked Snake. And also, I don't think I'm ever going to do Fight Milk. I can't chug that much liquid. I've tried. Believe me, I've tried. There was a time when I used to drink. Let's see here. If you have the copper. If you have the copper. Yes. Back 4 Blood has that. It's more so you get pinned by a sleeper. Yeah. They have incorporated that where instead of sending a horde your way, they send like a single special infected, which yeah, they're similar. You got the smoker, you got the boomer. I may always habitually call them that because, well, I spent years with Left 4 Dead, which is probably why a lot of people were so difficult to leave, is because Left 4 Dead, there's porns named after that damn game. I've seen them. They're not great, but they're hilarious. Like, Left 4 Dead was a cultural thing. And then you had Back 4 Blood, and so naturally there's going to be this, like, dismissive nature of it. And it takes a while to get accepted by people. I would go as far as to say they probably maybe leaned a little too hard into the whole anti-Left 4 Dead. But, that's just me. If they would have kind of went out on, I don't know, proposed it maybe a little differently. But what do I know? I'm just a random guy. Find out how great it really is. Yeah. That's why I was like, okay, there's a sale. Yeah, I'll give it a go. That's why, like, when Fallout 76, it was on sale for $30, I got it. because I was kind of curious, but I was not going to pay the full 60 because it was essentially half a game. I figured I got my money's worth, and that is, it was not that good. By the time I stopped playing, I guess they put bots back in, but I've never been a Fallout person. I started, but Fallout New Vegas, I think it was, played 2 hours, and I kind of just didn't care anymore. Maybe, and this is probably where some of the mindset of this dismissiveness comes in. I played WoW. I played years of Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl. I played Clear Sky. I played Call of Pripyat. I have done the open world games. So when Fallout happened, I was just like, I'm kind of done. I don't care anymore. And, Red Dead Redemption 2 was almost that way. It was almost, I don't care anymore. Thankfully, you know what saved it? The fucking narrative storyline of you had Arthur constantly throwing shit out. And it's like, otherwise I would have stopped playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Because really like you, noob. I am quite a noob. I played Team Fortress 2 the other day, and either I'm a noob or I am too paranoid for my own good. Because apparently, like, we were in Red Base, right? And we're setting up defenses in 2 Fort, which is capture the flag, capture the intelligence. And some engineer comes in and builds a turret. No, not a turret, a dispenser. Well, I start shooting them. And everyone looks at me, both my team and everyone else looks at me and starts shooting me to not, which I know is kind of a universal sign of don't do that. And I just stood there and looked at him. Like, this son of a bitch is in our base. I almost wanted to say, am I missing something? Like, we've got other people from the opposite team coming and attacking us, but no, this one engineer is apparently not allowed to get a pass. Like, what? So, I don't know. TF2's changed. That game walked so the others could run. Yes. Because they're so set on refusing to move on. Because it literally is the same people who boycotted Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead 2, since they thought it was too early to come out yet, and back from them. Oh, Left 4 Dead 2. That already had its own mess of the fact that it was a separate release rather than an update. That pissed off. I mean, it pissed me off, but I mean, it technically is a superior product to the first one. I'm going to be treated the same way as was vitriolic piece of shit that always crawls out of the walls. I'm probably one of the few people who will say that 95% of Half-Life Alyx was great. The last 5% just shit on the entire existence of the whole Half-Life trilogy. And it pisses me off. I like that game, but when it comes to the last, 5 minutes of the end, it's like, nope, I'm done. And if you ever play that game, or decide to go watch the ending, you'll know why. Honestly, I'm having a blast on GTA, except the hackers. That's never going to go away. In fact, it's going to get worse. Who was it? Upper Echelon. He did a video recently on another set of hackers that because AI is getting so good, AI can now blend in and act like human behavior. Like, you can tweak the fault, the percentage of loss, to make yourself look like a human player, or you can tweak it another direction to make yourself look like the most precision aim bot hacking jackass on the planet. But because AI allows you to variably control that, it's a lot harder to detect. And so that's why it's like with direct versus multiplayer games, no confidence anymore. Zero. Like Valorant, what's the other stupid ones? The big ones. I can't think of the name because I'm really tired. I mean, there's the Call of Duty, there's the Apex Legends, the PUBGs. What is it? Help me out, chat. Um, it's the one where you run around, you can like build crap. You find like there's costumes at um like the Halloween stores of these damn games. They mock all the other primary characters. Like there's Mando and Ash from Evil Dead in there. Damn it, I can't think of it. Oh well. Fortnite. Yes, thank you, Toby. Fortnite is another one where AI as a bot is going to make you perfect. You're going to be screamed by these players, and you're going to think, man, this guy is just really fucking good. No, it's a bot, but it acts like a human. Yeah, you don't like much people. Fortnite. Yeah. Minecraft has some charm still. I played a little bit with Aerials the other week, and I kind of want to play it again. But for Minecraft, there's still charm to it. I appreciate it. But don't do the PvP. Let me go in there and just have fun exploring. Wait, did you mean Dead by Daylight? No. I meant Fortnite, because Ash Williams is in Fortnite as a character. Dead by Daylight is... I have heard that there are hackers in Dead by Daylight. And I have seen the videos. I don't play it to get an advantage. That's the thing. My brain, because I can compartmentalize this crap, I go and I play with Toby or whoever. I don't care about leveling up. If I do, I'm randomly doing stuff. I don't care about the leveling system because it's not going to matter. What I'm there for is to play with the people that I enjoy playing with. That's it. It's like TF2. I don't care. This is a little bit of a rant. When Valve put in droppable like RPG elements, they ruined Team Fortress 2. I've been calling for years. Hell, Team Fortress 2 only exists because another mod team created a mod for Half-Life 2 called Fortress Forever, because it'd been 10 goddamn years since we had gotten Team Fortress Classic, I think at least. And we wanted an update. Valve was like, oh, we're working on. Bullshit. No, they weren't. So, the day, you can find marketing somewhere, the day the beta for Fortress Forever was released, Valve announced that they were doing Team Fortress 2. The fucking day. No. You know, you can't fool me with that crap. Dead by Daylight has Nicolas Cage. It does. But you know what else has Nicolas Cage? Face Off! No. I just had to say it. That's why I play it too. I'm here to kill or be killed. Love when the killers put the hook on. That sounded more sexual than it probably should have been. That's what I'm doing. Having fun. Getting virtual titties in my face. Giving kids acid trips for not fighting hackers. Yeah, that's one of the things that I want to kind of vent about in my video is we have made a shift. People are denying it, but we have made a shift. The increased speed of the internet, the convenient assetification of game development, prefabbing. This is something that Half-Life 2 unfortunately helped create, is prefabbing of levels and assets and stuff. Streamlining game development while increasing the cost and claiming that it still costs a lot of money to build games. Probably more for the licensing, because I don't know if you know this, but weapons and their names are a licensed asset, which is why if you look back to some other games like GoldenEye, the AK-47 was called the KF-7, and it was changed in certain aspects to look similar to the AK-47, but not be the AK-47. Because licensing a weapon is expensive, and when you're someone like Call of Duty that has 200 plus weapons, that's expensive shit right there. So yeah, saying that it costs $2 million, your developers aren't getting that money, I guarantee it. It's going to all the other licensing and all the other crap that goes into this game. It's literally just overhyped modders. And I hate that so much. Yeah, the fun days of modding are gone. Like, you know, as someone who's a former modder myself, it's sad to see that modding is no longer really a thing. Like back in StarCraft, you could create whole maps, create whole mods. Hell, Dota was created because it was a game style that originated back in the StarCraft days and became its own thing. And hang on a second. There's actually kind of a famous story. Who did Dota? Not Dota 2, Dota 1. Defenders of the Ages. Okay, so the Epic Store, one of the reasons why there was several years where games were exclusive to Epic, meaning they could only be on the Epic launcher for like a year to a year and a half before they were allowed to go on other stores, because there was a lack of awareness for games like the original Dota, which were published by Valve. Well, Dota is a big fucking game, and Dota 2 probably even bigger. I don't know, I don't play them, I know of them, but I also know where their origins come from. They come from StarCraft. Epic missed out. I think they were like given an offer or something where they had some involvement possibly, and they just dismissed it. And so since then, they have been so paranoid, Ubisoft too. If you look at the contract for like any assets that you make with any Ubisoft games, like whatever it is for the Assassin's Creed or whatnot, you look in the terms of use, it all belongs to Ubisoft, because they all fucking missed out on claiming ownership of Dota, and they're so pissed off about it. Because modders came up with stuff, and half the games industry just dismissed them. Valve took them, but Valve was also a history of incorporating modders to their own. Day of Defeat was an original modding team. Counter-Strike was a modding team. Who else was there? There was a bunch of other modding teams that were basically guys like me that would just create stuff. They were hired in Seattle by Valve, and they created some really awesome stuff. They helped make Portal. Companies like Epic don't like that crap, so away goes the modding. And then you run into, because modding is so like unheard of now, you have the weird inverted mod, like they're modding of the old Counter-Strike games, but they're doing it in a very black market style. Like the developer technically still owns it, but there's no real license to mod the game because they didn't make it to be modded, whereas Valve gave the tools to mod. So you have this real gray line going on. You just want to do shit so far removed from the real life that is fun. You don't even want to play farming simulators. You got an unholy amount of hours. I have 400 hours as a medic in Team Fortress 2, and I've never served any time in the military. I've done 3 years in healthcare though. But you know what, everyone? I unfortunately need to bring this stream to an end because I have to get to bed. I have to get up. I have to get to work, and it's sad that I have to do that, but I do have to do that. But it was wonderful chatting and I guess you call it having therapy with you all. But I do have to. Where's my little ending guy? Oh, that was a harsh end. No, not starting. Ending. See, I'm so unprofessional here. I don't have any of my fancy stuff. Oh, we're going back, like, we've gone back a year, it seems. But... Oh, I miss you all, and I love you all. It was wonderful to chat with you. I'm definitely going to do more streaming this week. Probably would be playing something. Miss you, man. Stream more for sure. Yes. I've got some stuff I want to play. I got Slime Rancher 2, which is a nice, calm game. I probably won't be playing much in depth. Oh, I know what I want. I want to play Carry On. You guys haven't seen Carry On. That's a fun game. You get to be a monster in that. Good night, Alan Jones. Good night, Steph. Good night, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. Hope I've given you some entertainment. Something to relax to. Because you know me. No, I'll talk about the politics of gaming all day long. But like real politics? No. That stuff can go the way of the dodo as far as I'm concerned. But obviously, I have some baggage when it comes to gaming. I'll happily talk about that. I haven't brought up the whole Team Fortress 2 thing much. I used to bitch about that a lot more, but getting carried away. Good night, all. I love you. I will see you next time. Good night.